Aries, welcome to the realm of astrology. This is your monthly horoscope overview for the month of October 2021. But before we begin, I would request you to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you can be notified every time I post a video. And Aries, I also do daily video horoscopes and weekly video horoscopes that you can watch on my YouTube channel. And I have also made a video on the long-term energies for your sign Aries, and you can watch that if you're interested. That video talks about things like Saturn and Pluto and Neptune and Uranus and where those are in your chart and what that might mean for you. It covers these planets till 2023. So that's all, and now let's talk about the month of October. So the first important thing, Aries, in October happens on 6th of October, and that is the new moon in the sign of Libra. And a new moon is essentially a new beginning that we work on for the next 28, 30 days for the next lunar month. And this new beginning is happening at 13 degrees of Libra right here, which makes it your 7th house, Aries. So this new beginning is connected to your 7th house of marriage, of business partnerships, of legal issues. So there's a new beginning in this area for you. It could be that you start a new business partnership or you start a new way of being in your marriage. Anything connected to the house of others, right, is where this new beginning is happening for you. And this is the beginning that you will work on for the next 28-30 days. I'm not going to break down the new moon energy in this video. That will be done in the new moon video. So if you want to know what this new moon energy is like, then you can watch that. But this is essentially a new beginning for you in your house of business, marriage, legal issues, and business partnerships. I didn't mean business, I meant business partnerships. And on the same day, Aries, we have Pluto here going direct, right? Now, Pluto has been retrograde since April, right? And when a planet is retrograde, we cover degrees, we go over events that we've already been before. Because what happens? See, a planet goes direct, and then a planet goes back, and then it goes direct again. So Pluto was direct till April, then it retrograded, and now it's direct again. So it's covering degrees we've already seen. So typically retrogrades are a period of review. We review things during a retrograde from a different perspective. Retrogrades are also a karmic time. So all the karma connected to Pluto, which is the planet of transformation, endings, beginnings, catharsis, was there for the past few months. But now Pluto is direct again. So the forward movement when it comes to working on our psychology, on healing, on transforming, on ending things, beginning things, digging deep, finding the truth, begins again. It's not, we are still covering areas it's already covered, but there's forward movement now. And that's another thing about October, Aries, that a lot of planets are going to come out of retrograde and go direct. So I just thought I'd mention that. Now, the next important thing happens on 7th October, and Venus enters the sign of Sagittarius. Venus right now is in your 8th house, right? And then on 7th, it's going to enter your 9th house, the sign of Sagittarius. And wherever Venus is in our chart, we become more receptive to that area of our life. We also received gifts and blessings in that area of your life. And up until October 7th, Venus has been in your 8th house, making you more receptive to, giving you gifts and blessings connected to transforming, healing, ending, intimate relationships, investments, hidden things, occult things. All 8th house matters. But now, on October 7th, it's going to enter your 9th house and make you more receptive to and give you gifts and blessings connected to higher education, foreign travel, wisdom, knowledge, all 9th house things. And then on October 10th, we have Saturn going direct again. Saturn has been retrograde for some months now, and Saturn retrograde is also a time of review. But when Saturn goes direct, as it does on October 10th, forward movement begins again. And Aries for you, Saturn is in your 11th house. And wherever Saturn is, which it will be till 2023 for you in your 11th house, wherever Saturn is, we are asked to work hard. We are asked to put things connected to that house in order. And for you, that's the 11th house. So things connected to your social circle, not your close friends, but the groups that you belong to, the organizations that you're a part of, your hopes, goals, and dreams, and science and tech and innovation, if that applies to you, that's the 11th house. That's what this is. That's what Saturn is asking you to work very hard on. And will continue to be there. Saturn will continue to be there till 2023. So this is the area you have to work hard on. And with Saturn going direct on October 10th, this forward movement, the work in this area will begin again. It's not like it stopped, but the intensity goes down during retrogrades. So now the intensity will pick back up. And then on October 12th, Aries, we have the first quarter square of the moon. Now, this is a point where the sun and the moon make their first 90-degree angle after the new moon. And this whole week, starting on October 12th, we are going to be adjusting, we are going to be overcoming challenges and connected to the new moon, the new beginning you had in your 7th house on 6th of October. So this week, the new beginning you had in your marriage, business partnerships, relationship, you're assessing, okay, I'm facing this challenge. How do I overcome it? Okay, I need to make this adjustment for that new beginning to come about better. So that's the vibe. And that vibe will continue for the whole week till the full moon on October 20th. And on October 18th, now Jupiter is going to go direct. Jupiter here is in your 11th house again. And Jupiter is the planet of blessings and rewards and gifts and lessons. And Jupiter spends about a year in each house. And right now it's in your 11th house. And in your 11th house, it's giving you gifts and blessings connected to your social circle, the groups that you belong to, your hopes, goals, and dreams, science and tech if that applies to you. And Jupiter by December will enter the sign of Pisces. And then the gifts you receive will be connected to the 12th house. The lessons you receive will be connected to the 12th house. Spirituality, meditation, connecting with the higher realms, drug, delusions, addictions, closing out the past, all these things. So when Jupiter will go retrograde on go direct on October 18th, the blessings, the lessons, the rewards will begin again connected to your 11th house, social circle, hopes, goals, and dreams, science, tech, innovation, the future, all these things. And on the same day, Mercury is going direct. I should have mentioned this in the beginning, that as we enter the month of October, Mercury is retrograde. It went retrograde on September 27th, and Mercury retrogrades typically are not the best time to start new things, sign new contracts, gadgets can malfunction, and Mercury retrogrades are also a period of review. We review things during Mercury retrograde. And Mercury for you retrograded in your 7th house. Libra is your 7th house. So what you needed to review was things connected to your marriage, business partnerships, legal issues. And now Mercury is going direct on October 18th, which means the review process has kind of stopped and now forward movement begins. But Mercury is covering degrees. It's already covered, so it's not new territory yet. It will be very soon, but not on October 18th. But it is out of retrogrades. So if you want to sign contracts, if you want to start new things, now is a better time. But I would wait till Mercury reaches new territory before going with that. And on October 20th, we have the full moon in Aries, and that's happening at 27 degrees of Aries. So in your sign, Aries, and that puts it in your first house and seventh house, that axis, right? And what is a full moon? A full moon is when the sun and the moon oppose each other. It's a point of emotional release. It's a point of clarity. Think about it. A full moon is the brightest night in the month. It's when we can see things clearly. So on a full moon, we can see things clearly. So what are you seeing clearly, Aries? You're seeing clearly the new beginning that happened on October 6th in your seventh house of marriage, business partnerships, legal issues. You're understanding that beginning better. That's the first thing. The second thing I want to mention is that in the month of April 2021, we had a new moon in Aries. I believe on April 11th. I could be mistaken, but around then. And that new beginning really started our new life because in March of 2021, we got rid of a lot of the past that we carry with us. A lot of the past is with us, it's inside us. We carry it with us. We got rid of that in March, started to get rid of that. And in April, our new life began with the new moon in Aries. And this new life ties back to two new astrological cycles that started in 2020. The first one is the Saturn Pluto conjunction cycle of Jan of 2020. We started a new cycle then that will be with us till 2053, and in April, that cycle in a very powerful way started. I'm not going to go into reasons in this video, but that's when the new life really started. And the second one was the new cycle that started in December of 2020 with the Saturn Jupiter conjunction, but more so in April, we really began the life that started in Jan of 2020 for us. And to put it very simply, it was a new beginning. It was a new life we stepped into in the month of April 2021. And now, with this full moon in Aries, that beginning we're able to see more clearly. That beginning is becoming clear to us. That beginning is culminating in a certain way. Back then, it was a seed. Now, maybe you can see the plant a little bit. And on October 23rd, Aries, we have the sun entering the sign of Scorpio. Okay, your 8th house. And wherever the sun is for those 30 days, because the sun spends 30 days in a sign, for those 30 days, the house in which it is becomes the focus. It's illuminated more than the others. And for you, up until October 23rd, that house is the 7th house of business partnerships, legal issues, and marriage. And then on October 23rd, the focus, the highlight, the area of your life that will be illuminated the most will be the 8th house. Now, the 8th house is not a very straightforward house like the 7th house, right? 7th house is business partnerships, legal issues, and marriage. 8th house is a lot of things, a lot of hidden things. It's healing, it's regeneration, it's endings, it's beginnings, it's catharsis, it's intimate relationships, it's investments, it's occult things, it's hidden things. So this area of your life is going to be the focus. And then on October 28th, we have the last quarter square of the moon. Now, this is an energy that will last the whole week up until November 4th, the new moon in Scorpio. And this energy is about releasing and letting go of the new beginning you had on October 6th in your 7th house, connected to marriage, business partnerships, and legal issues. So this week, Aries, you're assessing what about that beginning stays, what about that beginning goes. And this process of releasing is subtle and subconscious. And on October 30th, Mars is going to enter the sign of Scorpio. It's going to leave your 7th house and enter your 8th house. Now, Mars enters a particular sign almost after 2 years, which means it enters a particular house almost after 2 years. So, up until October 30th, Mars has been in your seventh house, which means it has been re energizing and reinvigorating your seventh house of marriage, business partnerships, and legal issues. It could be that there was a legal problem and Mars came in and said, okay, we need to work on it now. Let's work on it. Let's get this moving. That's Mars. Or maybe you were facing some challenges with a business partner. Mars came in and said, hey, let's resolve it. And now it's going to do the same thing on starting October 30th in your eighth house. Intimate relationships, investments, hidden things, occult things, healing, catharsis, all eighth house things. So it could be maybe if you're holding something within you for the past 2 years or so, Mars comes in and says, hey, time to let it go, release that stuff. Or, okay, you've adopted a certain pattern, maybe an emotional pattern, and Mars comes in and says, hey, that's not you, let it go. Or an intimate relationship. Maybe in the past 2 years, you haven't wanted to be in an intimate relationship, but Mars comes in and says, hey, I think you're ready now, let's go for it. So that's Mars, and that's what it is going to do on October 30th, enter your eighth house. So October, to sum it up, Aries, is a month where we begin to see a lot of forward movement again. Starting in April, one by one, all the outer planets started to go retrograde. Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, Neptune, Uranus, right? Chiron. But now, one by one, they are starting to go direct again, which means from about April to now, it's about reviewing things. It's about building things we've already seen glimpses of. But now planets are going direct, so the forward movement, the active creation of karma will begin. Retrogrades are a period where we receive karma. And when the planet is direct, we create karma. So now that creation begins again. Forward movement begins again. And there's a lot happening in the month of October. Both the new moon and the full moon are very intense moons. And there's a lot of focus for you in your seventh house, business partnerships, legal issues, and marriage. That is really the focus for you. And with Saturn going direct and Jupiter going direct in your 11th house, Aries, a lot of focus on social circle, groups that you belong to, hopes, goals, and dreams, and the future. And things like Neptune, Pluto, Chiron, Uranus, the nodes, and what those mean for your rising sign, you can watch that in my long-term video. So that's all I'm going to say for you, Aries. And now I will pick a card for you, and then we'll close out the reading. Okay, let's go with the top card. It says why. I don't know why you got this card, Aries. Maybe this month you will have questions, or maybe this month you will receive some answers. But I'm going to pick another card for you. Okay, 2 more cards fell out, so let's go with that. It's a never-ending story. And what is a never-ending story, Aries? It's something that keeps repeating itself, right? And this says yes, no, yes, no. So going back and forth is a never-ending story. And I did mention that Mars is going to enter your 8th house of ending things, beginning things, transforming things. Maybe you need to end a never-ending story, Aries. And breathe. I think, Aries, this card is telling you to take some time out for yourself, take a moment and take a breath. Do things this month that will relax you. It need not be meditation, it could be anything. Anything that relaxes you and helps you calm down and enter that place of calmness, right? because there is a full moon in your sign Aries. The new moon is opposing your sign Aries, so you could be feeling a lot of intensity this month. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Do share it with anybody who's an Aries sun or an Aries rising, and I will see you in one of my other videos. Have a great month, Aries. Bye.